Are you ready to have a great show? Come on in. Our special guest is a physical education professional, health and wellness coach, and the owner of KCS Natural Fitness. He's coming to us live from São Paulo, Brazil. I'd like to welcome Katsumi Sakamoto to the show. Thank you so much for being here, Katsumi. How's your day going?
Thank you, Jason, for having me here. It's an honor to be here, part of Wellness on the Go. Let's have a great chat.
I'm curious, what made you want to become a health and wellness coach?
So yeah, my story in that aspect is quite an unusual one. Yeah, I graduated from physical education back in 2009, so 11 years ago. But I kind of I was distant from this area. I went into sales and training people and recruiting and coaching, and I did all sorts of stuff outside the health area. And last year, when just before the COVID hit, I needed to improve my health. I felt that I really needed, in my case specifically, I needed to lose weight. I've always been very thin, and I hit like the heaviest I've ever been in my whole life. I was even having difficulties tying up my shoes. Wow. So I thought, okay, so that's a problem. I need to fix it. Yeah, but because I had been away from the health industry for so long, even though I have my certificate, my uni degree and everything, I'm like, okay, I don't really know what I have to do. So let me look for it. So as any person in the 21st century, every time we need to find something, we just go on social media, right? Because for some reason, we think that's where we should find credible information. But what I realized is that most people most professionals that I was watching and following, they were very separated into one. You need to take this type of training to lose weight because this is the only one that works, the best one that works. Or on the other side, people that were telling me that this diet is the magic and I'm going to lose the weight that I need in a couple of weeks. But this is the diet, like the only one. And obviously having a university background, so I just dove into scientific articles and I went to study. I kind of redid my university in a couple of months, yeah, from the amount of articles that I read. But what I realized was that I knew, even without my degree, that for me to lose weight, I needed to eat healthier and exercise more. And I realized that everybody, or at least 99.9% of people that struggle with that same problem, losing weight, has the same knowledge. They know they have to eat healthier and exercise more, but why don't we do it? So I took all the information that I had gathered with my research, and I realized that I could educate myself on those things. But what I had to do is that I would have to take specific, but things that I could continue doing for a long period of time. So small steps. And that's what I did. So I decided to do one different thing for a week. And then I added another one and another one and another one. And the transition then became easy to do. And the whole process became sustainable. Most things that I started doing last year, I still do it today. So what happened is that I lost 12 kilos in 10 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was quite good. And I'm still keeping that same weight, yeah, since then. And I didn't have to suffer from it in the sense that, completely restricted or anything like that. I just started adopting healthier habits. So things that I never think of doing before, today they just happen automatically. When it worked, I said, okay, so I've got something in my hand, right? I've got my degree, so I can work in that area, fine, but let's do something else. So I came up with this methodology that I just needed testing. So I got a few of my friends that were looking to lose a few pounds and things like this, and we tested it and it worked. So I thought, okay, then I do have a business on it. And I've started just a word of mouth type of thing. So my friends that I helped, they referred me to friends that were looking to achieve the same goals. And then I started working, and I haven't been without a client since. And the amazing thing is that even though most of them look for me to lose weight, after the third or fourth session, they're much more focused on their well-being and their health than they scale. And it becomes a lifestyle, right? Because like I tell my clients all the time, health is not an end goal. You don't set off to just, I need to get to this level of health and I'm done. No, it's a lifestyle, right? So the changes, they have to be sustainable for anyone, to older ages, with quality and being able to do whatever they want to do. I truly believe that.
That's great. No, that's excellent. Lifestyle is all about lifestyle. Like you said, not counting the pounds and not weight and checking the scale every day. It's all about how you feel and what you look like. And that's awesome. And also health and wellness in Brazil, is it different than the United States? It's like the personal training different? Is there, besides the Brazilian butt guy, is there anything different, you think, in the United States? Because he's really famous in the United States.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Yeah. No, I don't see much of difference. At least watching what people do, right? The obsession here for really good-looking bodies, I think it's borderline sickening. Yeah. And we are known as one of the, if not the highest number of plastic surgeries that happen in the world. Right. If we're not the first, we're like the second, just behind the US, right?
Like LA.
Yeah, probably. And people are really, really focused on their shape. And because I try to come from another angle, so I do face a little bit of a challenge when I first start talking to people in that aspect, yeah, because what they are looking for is that beach body that they want to achieve for the summer. So right now, it's when everything starts booming for us here, because our summer, it's December, January, and February, right? So people start the summer project. It's actually a thing we call summer project here, yeah? So every end of September, beginning of October, people are just go like crazy because they know they're going to go to the beach and they're going to be without most of their clothing, so they need to look good. But what I do realize is that most of them, they go past the intelligent decisions that have to be done in order to get a good shape. They truly just are looking for that silver bullet that is just going to solve their problems. And that's when in my opinion, the danger exists. Yeah, because you get professionals that aren't really professionals, just selling some crazy stuff and lots of chemical supplements that promise people to lose weight in a couple of weeks, and they actually do. But when summer passes, everything goes back to the way it was before, or even worse. And what people are not realizing is that their inner health on a cellular level is being dangerously affected by all this losing and gaining weight in a very, very risky way. That's what I see here. I don't know if you guys have the same over there.
Kind of like a roller coaster effect, up and down, up and down. If some people just get in shape for a wedding, other people will get in shape just to go somewhere to the beach, and then they'll go back, and the winter is where they gain all their weight. The summers they lose it. It's very similar. Yeah. It's very, very similar.
So yeah, probably the same thing. Yeah, because most people treat it as an end goal. Yeah. So I need to be like this for my wedding. I need to be like this for this specific event. I need to be like this for the summer, for spring break, or whatever. The comparison I like to do is like to think about Usain Bolt at the end of 100 meters sprint, right? Mm-hmm. So he starts like a maniac, and when he crosses the line, he just floats until he comes to a stop. If we think about health or about weight management or anything like that we're talking about here as a finish line, the same thing will happen, right? Once I cross that finish line, I'll just float until I come to a stop. And physics have already explained that, right? Momentum is what gets you really, really going. So if you stop, to actually get that moving back again is so much harder.
Katsumi, what is your definition of total wellness?
In my mind, it's being grateful, happy, and here right now. I think when we figure out that this is what really matters, in the sense that it's the right now that really matters, and you are truly grateful for whatever is happening right now, I think that's when you achieve true wellness. It's like Will Smith says in that interview that he gave like more than a decade ago, right? If you're not making someone else's life better, then you're wasting your time, because your life will become better by making other lives better. And I truly believe that area, if you're in that position in life, wealth also comes, because then you are attracting people that are thinking in the same manner, and obviously you're increasing whatever you're doing, your business, your coach.
After the break, we'll learn more about Katsumi's book and business. We're back here with Katsumi Sakamoto. Katsumi owns a business called KCS Natural Fitness. Katsumi, tell us a little bit about your business and how is it different than other wellness businesses?
I do have to say that book needs updating, right? I wrote that a year ago, and I've learned so much since I finished it. But it had always been a dream of mine to be able to write a book. And I do believe that should be an aim for anyone and everyone in the world. Yeah. So if you're listening to this podcast and you're enjoying our chat here, please consider writing a book. Everybody has a message that needs to get across. And the exercise of sitting down and writing something, thinking of how it's going to be affecting others, it's such a great exercise. So what I did in this book is, back then, obviously a year ago, I searched for the top diets, the top trending diets out there, right? And I took the science behind it. So I explain in a very talkative and normal terms. So it's not a scientific book, far from it, because I do believe that us professionals, we need the scientific books. But if we want to reach the masses, we need to talk normally without the crazy chemicals and and everything, right? But it's written in a very simple way, and I just bring the facts, science facts about each one of those diets. But I end up by explaining that in a matter of just losing weight, So let me make a disclaimer here. Yeah, I'm not talking about health overall. In that book, I'm just talking about how to lose weight. We need to consider the caloric deficit, right? I just explain how to calculate it and what we need to do, and I give an example of how I did it, so people can actually finish the book with a roadmap, if you may, of how to lose the weight that they need by choosing any of the diets that I mentioned, or even any other ones that might exist, once they realize what their BMR is, the basal metabolic rate is, and how they can control that scale between what they ingest and what they spend, so they can actually transform the weight loss journey in a numbers game and take a little bit of the emotion out of it, because we all know that it is a very emotional roller coaster. The challenge and obviously the goal of losing weight and becoming healthier and lighter and in a better shape, if you may. But once at least for me, I'm a very numbers guy. Yeah? I love numbers since I was a kid. I've always loved maths, and numbers just talk to me very nicely and smoothly. When I transformed it into a numbers game, it actually became a game for me. So when I was there trying to get to the end of the day with my calories meeting at the end of the day, and I would usually have quite a few left by the time I'd stop eating, I was like, yes. So today I have like 200 left, and tomorrow I had like 300 left. And by the weekend, I had enough so I could have a beer, for example.
Nice.
So I could, and I could control that. So it took the emotion off, right? If you want to download the book, and I do apologize, you probably had a look at it. My website is suffering a little bit of problem, and by tomorrow it's going to be fixed. So you just go to my website, kcsnaturalfitness.com, and you're just going to click there from tomorrow onwards. I don't know, today is the 22nd of September. So from the 23rd of September, you can just click their book and give your email, and I'll send it to you. So it's going to be very easy.
That'd be great. Yeah, I tried downloading it and then check it out, but like you said, there's always technical difficulties. That's no problem. But our listeners out there now know that the book is available, which is great. And your business, KCS Natural Fitness, it speaks, basically tells us what it is. But what is your how do you focus on the full body, and how do you feel it differs from other wellness coaching businesses?
That each person will need some specific solution in their health journey, because in the same way that you might have one way of looking at it, Mary has another one, John has another one, I have another one. So by using the methodology that I came up with, so what happens is I divided it in 8 to 10 sessions. It depends on the person and their necessity, but it's between 8 to 10 sessions. My idea is not to create a dependence on me so they become healthy and carry on being healthy because every week they have a chat with me. No, that's not my goal, right? My goal is to create independence on my clients. So after we've finished, they will have enough knowledge to decide what routes and what they're gonna try and accomplish regarding their health. And if they are even willing to make some adjustments in the program that they did with me, they can even try other types of goals in other aspects of their life, obviously without the technical education that I bring, because that's just about health. So a session with me would look something like we would start by talking about one aspect of health. I may bring to the table basal metabolic rate concept, for example. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Most people don't know about it. They know about the body mass index, BMI. They know about percentage of fat, but at least people that I've worked with, most of them didn't know about it. So I might bring that concept to them and explain how the math works. Then we would go into a guided conversation with some questions that are going to make the client actually get to know themselves better and find out the real reasons why they are trying to lose weight, or they're trying to get a healthier life, or they're looking for a better performance in whatever area they are looking for. But the reasons behind the goals that they're going to set for the program. And we end up with a list of tasks that they're going to accomplish. And I always try to get enough that's going to break a little bit the comfort zone, but not as many as it's going to overwhelm the person to the point that, oh, it's too much, I'm not going to do this. But these tasks, they're not appointed by me. My client decides what they are actually going to do for that specific week. And what I realize is that by doing that over 10 weeks period, they end up just adding healthier habits on top of what they did the previous week.
That's good. That's really good.
And because every week we've got some new knowledge or things that they never thought it was possible, or I just try to break some myths, like for you to lose weight, you just need to do cardio. Yeah, 2021, and there are still people believing that because it's been so talked about a few decades ago, right? And I just bring some new science-based knowledge and very current knowledge, because all my research I do the most recent articles possible in the most prestigious universities and magazines, right? Scientific one. I can bring something that's current, something that's serious, something that's tested, and they can just start adding new, healthier habits every single week. So by the end of it, most of the habits just actually became habits, and they are comfortable and confident enough that they can go on living a healthier, more active, better life, even without our weekly meeting.
No, that's a great concept. And the one question I had was, what is the biggest struggle you see your clients dealing with on a regular basis? Like the biggest one that sticks out that most people listening probably have the same conflict in their own self.
In the health aspect of things, right? I would have to agree with Dr. Mark Hyman. And here I'm going to go. I'm going to find a few enemies probably by what I'm going to say. I think the biggest challenge anyone in the world faces right now to become healthier is the food industry.
Yeah, you're right.
It's our eating habits that obviously they developed in a way that our bodies didn't develop to accompany it. And the way that we eat today, and with all the processed foods and things that say they are healthy, but they are probably like 60% sugar, and the way that policies in that respect are made, that's our biggest challenge. Because for us health professionals that come with no agenda, we don't have a food company behind us trying to sell their stuff to our clients. So when we come with some information, science-proved information that, look, this is not good for you, and everybody is being constantly exposed to amazing media content about that same product, it becomes a huge challenge just to avoid those types of enemies or poisons even. And because everybody is in the same boat, when we decide to go on a different path, we kind of have to distance ourselves from our community as well. And that is a very difficult emotional, psychological breakout type of move that we probably need to do. For most of my friends, they love barbecuing and going for burgers and having lots and lots and lots of alcoholic drinks and just go out for drinking. Yeah. And that's something that's past me, even though I will, because I just don't believe in 100% restriction.
Mm-hmm.
I will have a gin and tonic every so often, or a can of beer. It's not me anymore. So I'm looking for people that would go trekking with me in our beautiful forests around here. Yeah, and find nice waterfalls and maybe cook a decent, healthy meal. And it's quite hard to find people like that.
Yeah, it's very difficult. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
We're just slaves of the food industry. I know this is a very, very bold statement and very strong wording, but that's unfortunately our reality today. And I'm really glad that there are people like you, Jason, that are giving us health professionals a space to actually bring the right ideas to people, and people like Dr. Mark Hyman, that it's probably one of the outspoken professionals in that aspect. Yeah, he really doesn't measure his words, and he's quite clear on that as well. So I do believe that's our biggest challenge, and everyone's challenge. Yeah, is to become healthier, is to change completely the way that we are used to eat.
And I wish people wouldn't use the word diet, like diet soda, diet this. It's not a diet. It's actually the worst for you. NutraSweet, Splendas, all those things are not good. And I hate them. They should take the word diet off of it, because it's not a diet. It's to your memory as well as your health. So that's a big factor for you, I know, and everything you do as well, probably.
No, exactly. Yeah, I've started following the same road. Yeah. I was back a few years ago. I was that guy that would have a bottle of Coke for breakfast, and today I look back and I say, why? how stupid can you be? But anyway, I think everybody has their timing. Everybody needs to evolve as well, and I'm glad I did. Can even help or solve global warming. So by treating ourselves the right way, organic, local, grass-fed, wild-caught, all these certificates that are starting to get some noticeability. I don't even know if that's a word, but they're starting to get noticed. Yeah. By doing that, we can actually solve global warming.
That's great.
So by treating our bodies, we can actually save our planet.
I wish more of us can do that. We gotta have the big billboard on the side of every road. Eat right, save the world.
Yeah. Yes.
And on that subject, how do you stay mentally and physically in shape? What kind of exercise do you do along with your health and wellness?
I'm very, very fond of routines, right? So I every now and then I change mine, because I also like variety. But what I usually do, I wake up very early. I have my cold shower. I'm a fan of Wim Hof as well. Yeah, the Iceman.
Nice.
I really like cold. Yeah, I like cold. Well, I've seen what cold exposure can benefit us with. Having a cold shower every morning, I think that's amazing. That really kickstarts my day. I do my meditation, my prayers. Yeah, I'm a Nichiren Daishonin Buddhist, so I do my chanting. Yeah, I do my chanting every morning. Then I have my version of a bulletproof coffee. Yeah, I haven't come up with a proper name yet. I don't know if anyone else is drinking like that, but I not just the coffee without sugar. No need to stress that, right? But it is important to mention. But coffee, cinnamon, ginger, curcum, matcha, maca, spirulina, and that's my mixture of my starting the day. Yeah, and obviously we won't have the time to go through all of the benefits of each of those spices I mentioned but they are all very, very good for your health, and obviously it gets everything natural. So I start the day like that. I sneaking a walk during the day, and nowadays I'm just walking because I do have a back issue that I'm treating, so I can't really run. I do some resistance training, just body weight, because I like to be functional. Mm-hmm. And at least half an hour of reading a good book, not a novel, not anything like that, but like a good book, or it has to do with health itself, or it has to do with personal development. But I think reading is like one of the most important parts of my day. And I also make sure I listen to at least one podcast in the same way, yeah, or health related or personal development related, just to get my mind in the right mindset, yeah. And obviously, with all of that, work in between and just chatting to people, which I love doing. So
no, you're great at talking. You definitely, like me, I love to talk, and I'm listening. That's the biggest thing, is listening and learning, because you're such a wise person. Our listeners out there, you guys, you got to contact. Definitely, you got to reach out, because Katsumi is definitely a really wise person. The one thing is about most people are listening. The last question is for anxiety and depression and stress. How do you help people reduce that in pretty much fitness, wellness? Are there a lot of people, like, I know anxiety is the economy and also the environment and the pandemic. Anxiety has been really high the last 2 years. How do you help people with that? And I'm assuming everything that you're doing in the morning is great for anxiety and depression and stress, which I have to follow that coffee routine because I gave up caffeine completely and just do green tea. But I love the spices and herbs, and I have to get the recipe. But anxiety, depression, and stress is one thing I want to see. What is your number one thing for someone with like social anxiety or general anxiety that would work on to really help them snap out of it within a period of time?
I believe that the first step is meditation, right? And when we say meditation, probably 90% of the people listening here are just going to go like, oh yeah, another guy saying about meditation, but meditation is not for me. I'm a very active person. I cannot stand still. And what most people don't realize, that meditating is just being present. And we don't have to be like a monk in Nepal, sitting down there in a pose and with our heads and our minds empty and going to some other parallel universe type of meditation, right? When we say meditation, most people actually think something like that, and obviously they believe they're not capable of doing it. And they are right. Yeah, to get to that level of meditation, you're probably going to have to dedicate your whole life to it. And it's not our reality, right? We are in a world that's changing constantly. It's speeding up even faster. And we just need that moment. And in that moment, it might be, you might start with 30 seconds, you might start with a minute, with 5 minutes, and you just go in, and you're going to realize that by yourself, you're going to increase the time that you do because you feel so good about it. Yeah, but just focusing on your breath. And I know this is no meditation technique whatsoever, right? And I have to be very, very clear about that. That's just the way I feel meditation calms me down. It's just by being here, and then I probably make a mind list of things that I'm grateful for. I think gratitude is it plays a huge importance in our lives, in every aspect of it, especially in those cases that you mentioned, and against anxiety, depression. Yeah. So I think I do believe that's the first step people should strive to grasp how to do so. Yeah. And nowadays we have like thousands of different mobile apps for it, and TV shows and YouTube videos, and you can go and research anything. But if you just manage to calm yourself down by breathing, I think that's the first step. And obviously there are conditions that are much more serious or of a higher intensity. I do work with a 100% natural supplement company, and some studies also talk about our levels of essential fatty acids influence in depression and our whole mind, emotional type of state. Yeah. So those supplements are quite good as well. Yeah. And just by rebalancing your body, your physiology, your cellular health, you can help everything else fall into place. Yeah.
Yeah, it starts from within, like you're saying. That's great. For our listeners out there, this is such a lot amount of information, but I would love for them to contact you. How can our listeners find you? And if they want to hire you, where can they find you and everything? I'll have all your information on the podcast bio and your bio as well on there, but just give them a heads up and maybe where to find you, the easiest place.
Easiest place, the one that I use the most, even though I do know it's a little bit out of date, it's Facebook. You can find me with my name as well, Katsumi Sakamoto. I also have a Facebook page, KCS Natural Fitness. My webpage, kcsnaturalfitness.com. From there, you can get in contact with me straight away through email. You just leave your message, I'll get it, and I'll answer for sure. And I'm on Instagram as well. I have to say, I haven't really grasped the way things work over there yet, but I'm getting there. I'm a bit of an old soul. I'm improving, I promise. But on Instagram, I'm also listed as KCS Natural Fitness. So I think that's those are the easiest places to find me. Also have a YouTube channel, but I haven't been posting too many videos over there for the past few months. So, but we do have some content that you can go and watch and see basically the type of language that I use. And if you can understand that and you would like to work with me, it's just get in touch through any of the social medias or the contact that Jason will kindly provide on the description of the podcast. So I think that's the best way.
But that's excellent. I really appreciate it. It's been awesome having you on our show today. Full of knowledge. I didn't realize what background, and I love the knowledge based in your mindset. It's exactly how I think. And after hearing you today, I really, really hope this reaches a lot of people and changes their life as well. But thank you so much for joining us from Brazil, which is amazing, international star. And thank you, and I hope you have an awesome fit day.
No, thank you very much. It was an honor having this conversation, Jason. I'm sure you're going to be connecting much more often now. And if you need anything, just count on me. If you're listening, want to know more, let's have a chat. All of you are very welcome to a discovery session, free of charge. So just get in touch and let's schedule that to get to know each other better.
That's great. Have a great day, and say hi to everyone in Brazil for us.
I will do so. And say hi back in Tennessee.
I will. Thanks a lot. Up next, I'll be cooking for you on location in my backyard. Red quinoa topped with shrimp stir fry. Get ready for fast, easy, healthy meals. To welcome you to my backyard. We're going to be cooking an awesome stir fry with quinoa, and to top it off with some shrimp. All these vegetables that you see here are all from my garden. And we're going to have some awesome food today. We're going to make it fun and enjoyable for you. A little bit of comedy. As I said, it's about preheated to 120 degrees. And we're going to start off with some of the actual vegetables that I have collected in the last few days, and actually today. We're going to start with this pre-cut zucchini that I was already working on today. And make sure you're using a cutting board and a clean knife and a clean cutting board surface. And watch your fingers out there. If you're not like a master chef like me, watch your fingers. I'm just kidding. I'm not really a master chef. Actually, during the day, I work as an exercise physiologist. So while this wok is heating up, I take the whole zucchini, and then what I do is I try to go right down the middle, if I can. I like to put the most raw vegetables that are pretty much the most dense vegetables in first. And then I put in the leafier vegetables afterward that cook a lot faster. So we'll start with the zucchini right here, big chunks. You can make them smaller if you like. Ooh, hear that simmer. That is awesome. For you watching out there, if you like other vegetables, you can pick whatever vegetables you like. If you're growing anything in your garden, can be in your stir fry. Zucchini is really easy to grow and also very tasty. And you want to cook this until it gets tender and slightly soft. You can eat it a little more crunchy. If the more raw the better, the more vitamins you have. But also go for your preference. But I like to have it slightly soft. Next I like to start with a pepper. This is actually a green pepper from the garden. I usually start with some vertical strokes here, the outside of the pepper. And you can keep the seeds actually for next year. You hear that sizzle? Look at that. I'm just cutting them into like small squares. There we go. That smells really good. Fresh peppers are always the best. All my vegetables are 100% organic, meaning that there's no pesticides or nothing put onto the plants at all. All I use is natural remedies in my garden to keep the pests away, like lemon basil, different types of plants that the insects do not like. Like citronella is not one of them as well. Eating fresh is the best way to go. But today I also do have other foods that are from the supermarket. My quinoa, for instance, tried growing that, but that was not happening for me. What I did is I went to Aldi supermarket and got myself some quinoa. It's Quinoa, quinoa. And this grows as a plant as well, and you're eating the seeds like a rice or a pasta. And I have other spices here we're going to use to boost this meal. Minced garlic. So I tried growing garlic this year. Didn't go well. Too much rain and Mother Nature wasn't on my side. And also Himalayan sea salt. Add a little bit more to it. And also 5-spice seasoning, which has ginger in it, which is really great for your stomach as well. And some black pepper to kind of take it up a little bit more. And we're going to add some shrimp at the end. I also have fresh basil. Actually, fresh basil, cilantro, and lemon basil that I'm going to cut up and also garnish with at the end of the meal. Cherry tomatoes, we're going to add in there as well. Let's pop in some cherry tomatoes. Throw a handful in there. Not worried about measuring with the cherry tomatoes. There we go. If you don't like cherry tomatoes, don't add them. But I'm growing about 30 different vegetables in my garden right now. And we'll put the spice in there in a little bit. The herbs. I also got snap peas. These are great. Got peas in the snap right here. So snap peas are excellent. If you let the snap peas grow for too long, they actually make real peas, which I didn't know until recently. So I thought it was just a coating with little, which is good. Learn something new every day. Let's mix this up a little bit. Okay, the one thing I gotta add is some liquid. That's what we gotta do. Always gotta add some liquid to make it steam in the wok. So what I have here is about a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I wanted to buy some fresh lemons, but they didn't look too good. So I settled for lemon juice. And also, I want to kick it up a notch a little bit. I have a little bit left over Pinot Grigio white wine. Hey, put a little bit in here. Just add a little bit of water to dilute some lemon as well as the wine. Now we're going to add some onion. I got fresh onion from the garden as well. This meal is about 95%, I would say, from the garden. Another 5% is from the stores. So if you have an issue with onions and make you cry, just try to not breathe in the vapor of the onion, if you can. These onions don't really make me cry. They're actually pretty good. This is white. This is a yellow onion from the garden. Gotta make it fun. It's food, fun, and fitness. That's why I'm dressed this way. I got my workout shirt, and I got my Hawaiian pants, Hawaiian shorts. I'm styling. You know that? I'm always styling. There we go. Gotta be in style when you're cooking. Look at that. Lemon juice, white wine, zucchini, cherry tomatoes, green peppers, snap peas. That smells so good. Excellent. Now we're going to cut up some gypsy red pepper. Actually, gypsy pepper is kind of a small pepper, but it has a nice sweetness to it. Gypsy pepper. And the seeds, you don't want to put the seeds in there. You just basically want to save the seeds for growing for next year. There we go. You can put some good music on when you're cooking. You could jam out. It's really good. Let's use this whole gypsy pepper. Don't want to waste anything. Good. Perfect. Voila. Look at that. Check it out. Yeah. I'm liking that. Mixed up a little bit as you add your ingredients. You can basically have all your ingredients pre-chopped, so it's much easier, but I wanted to cut them up for you to show how they looked before they were chopped up. Okay. Let's go with a little bit of eggplant. These are mini eggplant. That's ichibong eggplant. Cut those up. I'm not too worried about how they look. Just cut them into circles. Just cut straight down right there. Just toss them in. Look at that. I'm at about 130 degrees right now on my wok. This is actually an electric wok, and I can put this anywhere. I can even tailgate with this in the back of my car, which is really good. This, yeah, smells. Just be creative out there when you're cooking. You can add whatever you have in your cabinet or whatever comes out of your garden. Even if you don't have a garden, just go to the store and buy whatever vegetables you like and put them in a stir fry. They do make pre-made stir fry packets, but I prefer to have my own fresh vegetables or frozen. And you can do frozen as well, but fresh is the best if you can. And these are our fairy tale eggplants. These are a very unique eggplant. As you can see, it's purple with white. And it's a small mini size as well. Fairy tale eggplant. Look at that. And you can save the scraps to put in your compost pile for later. Check it out. We have all those vegetables chopped up. Last one I like to do is okra. If you don't know what okra is kind of like a long stem style vegetable. We're going to finish off with some rainbow Swiss chard to put in here. I like to show you the rainbow Swiss chard. It almost has like a celery effect on the stalk. And it comes different colors, red, yellow, purple. And it's great to add to your meals. High in vitamins. It's almost like a kale, but with like a celery style stalk. It's very good. Has quite a bitter taste though, but if you put it into a stir fry, it tastes really good when you cook it. I'm going to use one more piece of okra here. So this is red okra, similar to the green okra. And it grows really well around here in Tennessee. Excellent. We'll let that all cook up. Let's mix it a little bit. And I'm going to chop up a little bit of fresh basil for you, cilantro, and also lemon basil to top it off. And I'm going to end up with putting some teriyaki sauce in here. But if you don't like teriyaki sauce, I'm going to make one meal with teriyaki sauce and the other one without teriyaki sauce. Because without the teriyaki sauce, there's still a lot of flavor. And I'm going to mix in some shrimp at the very end. I actually got some pre-cooked shrimp just to save some time. I prefer wild shrimp, but this is actually farm-raised. But if you can, get wild. And also, I cooked up some quinoa. It takes about 15 to 20 minutes, and I cooked up some quinoa in a pot. And a trick to making quinoa, actually, you got to take out of the package about 1 cup of quinoa. I put it into a strainer. Take a coffee filter, put 1 cup of quinoa into it, rinse it in the sink, and none of the quinoa can escape because of the coffee filter. So you lose less quinoa and you have more for cooking. That's a little tip for you. So you rinse water over the quinoa when you're cooking, and you don't lose any when you have a coffee filter. And it's about 15 to 20 minutes to cook quinoa and you want to cook it on low so it simmers. So you start a boil. Then you put the 1 cup of quinoa into 2 cups of water, let it boil again, and then let it simmer for about 15 to 22 minutes or so until all the water is escaped from the pot. And I almost forgot, the spices. Gotta kick up those spices, yeah. Okay, whew, I can hear the music now. The food music, you hear that? Oh yeah, I hear it. That's a little bit of sea salt. Some black pepper, one more time. Fresh ground black pepper. 5 spice seasoning from the cabinet. Put it up. There we go. Don't really matter too much. And a little bit of garlic. Take a tablespoon of garlic. You can always add more if you're a garlic lover. There we go. That looks good. Everything will soften up as you add heat to it. And you add liquid, and the heat really makes the vegetables become tender and soft. There we go. One thing I want to add, leafy vegetables are last. And we got some red Swiss chard. Just cut it up. Whatever way you like. Smaller pieces actually cook a little faster. There we go. Throw that in there. We're going to let this cook for probably about 5 minutes or so. To simmer down. And you just want to keep testing it out. You can always taste a piece of the zucchini, which is the thickest vegetable, to see if it's well done, which have a nice soft texture to it. And I'm going to show the camera how it looks. Start off with adding that shrimp. Let's take a handful of shrimp and add it to our vegetable stir fry. It's been cooking for approximately 10 minutes, about 10 minutes or so until it gets tender. This is actually pre-cooked shrimp. But you can also have raw shrimp, but make sure you cook it before you add it to your meal. Quinoa has been cooked for about 22 minutes. And I'm going to add that first and then put the vegetable stir fry on top. I'm going to make 1 plate with teriyaki sauce and 1 without. Because if you want to watch your salt intake, definitely the teriyaki sauce is something you want to minimize. This beautiful meal. Voila. Look at that. It is great. So that shrimp, you have the mixed vegetables, about 10 different mixed vegetables all added in with the shrimp and then the quinoa. So let's plate this meal and having fun with fitness, food. Nice. Look at that. Let's add some teriyaki sauce to this one. Add an extra one for teriyaki. Only take about a spoonful, a large spoonful, of teriyaki sauce. And check out what we got today. Look at that. Beautiful, healthy, fresh meals done in less than a half hour. I would say only about 15-20 minutes you have a great meal. And you can make enough for your family inside a wok within 20 minutes. And there you go. Let's taste. Try this out. that? It's awesome. Coming up next, to close out the show, I'm going to bring you the Body Express Wellness Tip of the Week. Hi, I'm your host, Jason Cronin, here with the Body Express Wellness Tip of the Day. What we're going to do is stretching to help loosen up the kinks in the morning and get your back, hips, and legs and shoulders all loosened up for your daily activities. But before you do any kind of stretching program, make sure you consult your doctor or healthcare provider. But what we're going to do to get started is we're going to do the good morning stretch and we're going to do the golf swing stretch. The first stretch is really simple and you can modify it. So you bring your feet shoulder width apart, keep your shoulders real relaxed like Gumby, hips loose, relax your shoulders, make sure you can breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Let's try that. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Now what we're going to do is bring our arms up in the air above our head, put our feet shoulder width apart, and we're going to breathe in and rotate our arms to the left as we bend our knees and reach to the sky. Keep your back straight, eyes forward. It's really important to keep your back straight, eyes forward. If you have any shoulder problems or any injuries, feel free to modify them. It's okay to modify. Let's do 10 circles to the left. You ready? Bend those knees and circle, and 1. Good. Bend the knees, then straighten as you go, reach to the sky. Breathe in and out. Good job. You can adjust your feet if you like. Breathe in and out. Let's do 5 more. And 4, 3. Feels so good. 2, and 1. Reach to the sky really high. Awesome. Take a break, shake it out. Adjust your feet if you need to. Now let's go to the right. Same exact thing. Breathe in through your nose and out and reach to the sky and circle, and 1. Perfect. 2, 3, 4. Bend those knees, reach to the sky. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And shake it out. Adjust your feet if you need to. Great job, everyone. Doing awesome. Next stretch is great now if you're a golfer or even if you're not a golfer. Great for your back, great for your hips. Your feet are going to be 45 degrees again. And then you're going to reach across. You're going to pivot on your left toe and left arm crosses the midline of your body. Right hand is down towards your side. So we're going to do that first, starting. We're going to do left arm across the midline of the body. Left toe on your tippy toe. And again, right hand up, right toe on your tippy toe as you rotate your hip. Think about swinging a golf club all the way up to above your head and back down, rotating. Let's do 10 of those. Let's do left tippy toe, left hand up to the sky, and then right across your body, right tippy toe, left hand up. And let's do 9 more, counting down. And 8. Good job. Left and then right. 7. Perfect. 6. Good. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Excellent work, everyone. Thank you so much for watching the Body Express Wellness Tip. We're live here at Charlie Daniels Park. I greatly appreciate you tuning in and watching all the segments. Please watch our podcast and also our TV show. It's greatly appreciated. I'd like to give a huge thank you to Katsumi Sakamoto for teaching us about natural healing, for you watching the cooking demo, the red quinoa with shrimp stir fry, and also the Body Express Wellness Tip of the day. I really appreciate your time and watching. Please like and share and subscribe. If you have any questions or would love to be on our show, please feel free to email us or find us on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram. But make sure you take care of your neighbors, friends, and family, and have a great fit day. I'll see you next time. And I'm going to go for a run to burn off some of that stress.